Welcome back. Welcome back. This is Justin with Violent Works, and today we're going to discuss the topic of emotional alchemy, transforming negative emotions into positive action. So, this is a very important topic for many reasons. Sometimes our emotions get the best of us, and due to the strength of those emotions, sometimes we get paralyzed and we don't know how to take the actions to create positive momentum in our lives so that those emotions don't, stun our growth. So to me, this is one of the key foundational pieces that you can learn and apply in your life that could take you a long way in many areas, in your relationships and your career, in many areas. So give me just a brief moment to send out this invitation. All right. I hope everyone is having a blessed day. All right. Thank you for your patience. So, till I find a better, more efficient way to do this, at the beginning of my videos, you may notice that I take a brief moment just to speak over the topic and then send out my YouTube link as well to see if people will join live. I prefer when people join live because it just allows me to have a conversation and to teach on the go. All right. So got that sent out. Emotional alchemy, y'all. And if you're not familiar with alchemy, alchemy is believed to originate in ancient Kemet, which is Egypt, and it's a philosophy that essentially it's a philosophy and a science to attempt to transmute or transform matter, so silver into gold, or they're trying to resolve the issue of disease and cancer. So alchemy is very important, and it's a good word for you to learn, and it'll go a long way in you developing your growth mindset. So today, emotional alchemy, transforming negative emotions into positive action. All right. So first thing we're going to tap into, first thing you need to know when you're tapping into your emotional alchemy is emotional awareness is very important. It plays a pivotal role in you being able to dictate and recognize what's happening inside of your body. So I want you to first understand that emotions are chemical energy, essentially, that's flowing through your body. So when an emotion arises, your whole body feels it. So you just have to start practicing how to understand what those emotions are trying to tell you, because that's the thing about emotions. They're actually your friend, not your enemy. Your emotions are a key thing into showing you more of what's not working for you and where you need to go. So when you're in the heat of a moment and you're very emotional, you're only emotional because you're resisting. That's all emotions is. particularly negative emotions. It's a resistance to how you prefer to be, which most people would say they want to be happy. They want to be joyful. They don't want to walk around angry and sad, head hanging down. So it's important to build up that emotional awareness. It's very important. So one thing you can do is, once you're having a negative emotion arise, maybe it's anxiety, fear, anger, things like that, and you want to react, a good technique you can do is breathe. I know it sounds simple. I know you may be thinking, like, how does breathing impact my emotional state? Well, you actually won't be able to fully process your emotions if you're not breathing correctly. And the things that I teach you, like I say, I don't know if you'll be able to find any of this in the book. I don't know if you'll be able to find anyone else say what I say. However, these are techniques I use, so that makes it true for me, and I'm just giving you the information so that it can help someone apply it in their life. If it works for you, great. If it don't, I understand. There's other techniques out there, but for me, this is how I'll teach. So, hold your breath, like to the point where you want to receive oxygen. Because once you learn how to hold your breath, you just keep it and you hold it. You allow all that energy that was built up, that anger, that sadness, whatever it may be, that's negative. You're holding it, you're suffocating it. It has nowhere to go at this point. It's housed like in your chest area, because that's where, your lungs. And then you exhale. That simple technique will give your emotions an outlet to exit your body. So, let me write that down. Breathe. So, a big part of emotional awareness is learning how to breathe correctly. Through your nostrils, out your mouth. And everyone's lung capacity and how much oxygen they can hold is different. So I suggest to you to just do what feels comfortable for your body. So for me, if I'm feeling uneasy about something, I simply, through my nostrils, I hold it in my mouth. And then when my lungs are comfortable enough and they're ready to exhale, I let it go. Now, at that particular moment, all I did was catch my emotion, which takes awareness. However, the next step is to understand what the emotion was, or what it was trying to teach you. So, typically, if you're dealing with a strong emotion, it's because you have a belief. Let me write that word down for you. Emotions can only flow through beliefs. So without a belief, you essentially can't perceive an emotion. And that's what the resistance is. You've created a definition, you've created a belief somewhere in your mind, somewhere in your body, that you have to suffer. This is an appropriate time to respond in anger. This is an appropriate time to respond in fear. It's all based on a belief. So if I were to be able to draw this out for you. So let me find like a circle. I like circles. I don't know why. I just do. So here's a circle. Inside this circle, we have beliefs. Inside the circle, we have beliefs. So understand that in order to actually, for instance, let me give you an example. So your belief could be something simple as, and usually the belief is rooted in fear in order for you to have a negative emotion behind it. So your belief could be, if someone talks crazy to me, I'm supposed to knock them out. I'm supposed to curse them out. You may have been raised that way. You may have been in that environment growing up. And if someone were to say something that was off-putting to you, your initial response first goes to your belief. Then after it filters to your belief, it comes in a form of just a subtle energy for you to have a brief moment of consciousness to dictate where you want to go based on that belief. And if you're not conscious of it, it's going to be processed in your subconscious, and you'll do an automatic response. So anger. If you're angry about something, it's because you believe something is true. So if I'm angry that a person is, for instance, receiving more attention than me, it's my belief could be that I believe that I'm supposed to receive that attention, and now I'm envious of that person because they're receiving something that belongs to me. And going deeper than that, in that belief system, you have to really, truly ask yourself, why? Why am I envious? Why do I need their attention? Why do I need what they have? Why won't I instead just want what I need for me? Despite what they have, be happy for that person and whatever may come their way. But for myself, why do I have to project onto another individual and feel away if they have something that I don't have? So all of this is emotional awareness, y'all. Breathing, very important. Mindfulness practices, so like meditation. Meditation is a very powerful technique and tool that I suggest everyone at least attempts. So you have mindfulness and you have meditation. So mindfulness is just the awareness of your present moment. So I'm present, I'm here. I feel the breeze of the fan hitting my face. I'm thankful for it. I have water in my cup. I'm not thinking so far in the future. I'm thinking about right now and how I feel right now. That's mindfulness. Meditation is more of a quiet state where you go inside of yourself, into the darkness, into the shadow, and you allow whatever is in that shadow to present itself while still maintaining a sense of peace and calmness and control. So meditation usually brings out things, whereas mindfulness is more of a state of gratitude for the present moment. So another technique you can use in your emotional awareness is, if you feel like you need to respond emotionally, just understand emotions make it seem like that's a reality for the other party too. So you can be upset about something that the other person genuinely don't understand or can't relate, and therefore they're not processing it in the way that you're processing it. So if you're processing through whatever that negative emotion is, then it will make you feel like that other person's supposed to get it or understand or be on the same page as you. But that requires communication and patience and grace, y'all. Okay? So, journaling is also another way. Let me write down journaling. Breathing. Journaling. Journaling can be a very powerful technique as well to build up your emotional awareness. So you can just experience the day. You can tell yourself at the beginning of the day, okay, I understand that I may receive or perceive things in a negative way today. So I'm already starting my day understanding this. So you can just simply tell yourself, okay, how about I don't respond today when I'm feeling negative? How about I write it down? And at the end of the day, I'll go through my list, my journal, or end of the week, or whatever works for you. And I'll see all the negative emotions that I've experienced. And if those negative emotions is a long list, that lets you know there's a lot of work to be done. And that's okay. Because it takes one step at a time, y'all. But journaling is very important because you're writing it, you're thinking of it as you're writing it, and you're feeling it as well. So journaling can go a long way into building up your emotional awareness. All right. So, transforming negative emotions into positive action. Like I said, negative emotions, they just feel like they weigh a lot, essentially, because it is like a chemical response in your body. But you have to understand that it's still mind first. It's still mind first. And the whole point of what I teach is so that people can become more conscious of how things work, so that they can make better choices and more informed choices and catch themselves in the act of these normal things that happens on a day-to-day basis. And the more things you can catch and journal and learn how to breathe and learn how to meditate and learn to be mindful of, the more you can catch these things as it's happening, the better you can be at responding in the way that you want to respond, not the way you've always responded. And if you keep responding in the way you want to respond, as the better version of yourself, then guess what? Eventually you'll become that person in the blink of an eye. You'll be like, dang, I haven't cussed nobody out this week. It's been the same activity happening and the same people trying to push my buttons. I'm proud of myself. So that's the confidence getting built up in the process, because now you're aware that, oh, I'm aware, I'm conscious that I do feel things, and that's okay. The response, though, is all up to me. I have to be accountable for my responses, although I do feel emotional. I feel these emotions. So when you're making an emotion out to be negative, guess what? You'll experience it as a negative energy. For instance, let's say you're on the highway and your tire goes flat. Your natural instinct may be, man, this is very crappy. Today sucks. I don't like this. This isn't supposed to happen. Why did this happen to me? So You've created that negative energy and you put it out in the universe. So guess what? The people that's passing by you, whether you believe it or not, can pick up on negative energy. So instead of creating a positive state like, okay, I don't prefer that this happened, but I'm thankful that I'm at least safe and pulled over. I'm going to be okay. I will get this tire fixed in no time. I believe in my abundance, and I believe that the help is on the way. And a matter of fact, let me just keep focusing on my happy place. Now, a person can pull up, sense that energy, that positive energy, and be more willing to help. Because if they pull up and you're in your negative state, oh, it's a crappy day, this and that, they may not want to deal with you, even if they have the resources and the ability to help you. So as long as you're in a positive state, despite the circumstance, because you caught your emotion, you did your breathing technique, you wrote it down in a journal, and you said, I'll come back to this emotion later. Thank you, emotion, for showing me there's something about myself I need to grow. I need to get better at. So just because you feel an emotion don't mean the response and the action that you take has to be negative. And that's what we're talking about today. Emotional alchemy, transforming negative emotions into positive action. Everything I'm telling you is a way to transform that energy into positive action. Writing in a journal is an action. Breathing is an action. Telling yourself good things is an action. Okay? So, the biggest challenge that I found with emotions is acceptance, so that we can let them go. We can let go whatever it is that was anchoring us down in this emotion. So acceptance is essentially saying, I'm okay with what has occurred and where I'm going and what I'm going to learn from this occurring. That's acceptance. It is what it is. I can't change what just happened. I can't reverse it. And sometimes you can't even correct it. However, you can learn from it. You can grow from it. No matter what happens negatively, that doesn't or that shouldn't dictate your response out of a hateful place or negative place. Understand? So we just have to remember to stay mindful, stay connected with our accountability, and keep building on these methods. All right. So another way, another outlet that you can use to transform or transmute that negative emotion is to endeavor in some of your creative expressions, such as music. Music is a great outlet. Poetry, stories, art, writings. You literally are taking that energy that's built up in all these energy centers in your body and you're giving it an outlet, which is very important. That can reduce the tension that's going on, energetically speaking, inside of you, simply by making a song about something that happened that made you sad. You can feel much more relieved to express yourself and be heard. That alone can transform that energy. Because afterwards you're like, oh, I got it out. Now, I'm glad I got that out. Now this is where I'm going to go after this. I don't want to ever have to make a song like that again. But I appreciate that emotion that was there because it taught me it's okay to feel that. based on what occurred. But my actions to never have to feel that again have to be opposite of what led to that moment. Have to be different than what led to that moment of me feeling those emotions. So you're changing that belief. You're building up that confidence. You're building up that trust in yourself that you can do this. You control your responses. So music is a big one, man. Dancing, all of those are outlets to release emotional energy, and that's positive or negative. Okay. Another powerful outlet to alchemize negative emotion is physical activity. Go to the gym. Go take a walk. Walks, I'm telling you, walks are meditative, y'all. If you implement walking 15-20 minutes in your day, maybe in the morning or at night when it's not too hot, not too cold or whatever, I'm telling you, walking does something with your emotions, because now you're sitting there thinking, and as you're walking, you're exercising, and this energy is flowing through you. So you're now having a conversation with yourself, a conversation with God, and you have an outlet. Your body is sweating it out, some of that energy, and you're getting that emotional release through your words, through your thoughts, because now that energy is cycling. Okay? Go to the gym, go play basketball, go play football, soccer, baseball, anything that gets you going. Powerful, y'all. Very powerful. These things are simple, but powerful. Set goals, y'all. We have to set goals. We have to set goals. We have to set goals. And they can be small. You can simply say, I want to catch myself in the act of a negative emotion 2 times today. And I want to make sure I don't respond. And I want to make sure I write down what I was actually thinking. And then I'm going to write down, how do I prefer to respond as the newer, greater version of myself? So simple, y'all. Simple. Most things that are super powerful are actually simple. Very simple, but powerful. And we have to apply them in our life day to day. Oh my. All right, let me see what just happened to my board. I think I hit the refresh. So that's all right. That's all right. Let me get this in here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, that's not it. But that's all right. That's all right. We're just going to keep this yellow board up and I'll talk. So, empathy is another way that you can tap into converting that negative energy into positive energy. And not just positive energy, but action. Action is actually the language of change and manifestation. And if you follow any of my teachings, you'll definitely hear me say that quite a bit. So let me put this title back up here, just so we can have a reference, anyone that may come across this video. And thank you for coming across this video and, just giving yourself a chance to learn these things and apply them in your life. All right. So, empathy and connection, and just exploring how difficult emotions, like if you relate to people through emotion, that actually can help you convert negative emotions into positive action. And actually connecting in itself is an action. So finding people that may have a similar story or a similar issue or facing a challenge that you face, and being vulnerable to them so that you may receive a different perspective on how to handle it yourself. But that requires empathy. Not sympathy. Oh, I feel sorry for you. We're victims. Nothing we can do about it. But empathy. It's absolutely something we can do about it. I feel you. And this is what we're going to do. All right? Being kind to others goes a long way. Showing people that you actually care, to an extent, about their well-being. Of course, you can do that within the boundaries you need at any given point in time in your life. But it's important to care about others just as it is to care about yourself. All right. So, all of these things will help you build up resilience in your life. All of these things are skills that can be learned. They're not mystical. They're very practical. It doesn't matter if you have different religious beliefs or come from any background. These things apply. All of these things apply. So it's going to help you shift your perspective, which is ultimately what you're attempting to do. Anytime you feel like you want to say something negative, understand it's okay to feel that. However, the energy that you're going to give out based on your action is actually what dictates what you're going to experience. So the action part is the most important part. The response part is the most important part. How you respond using your actions. And you want your actions to have the greatest chance of being something positive. The way to do that is through a conscience, self-awareness, build up, skill set, intelligence that we all possess. We all possess. This ain't about who's smarter, who has a degree, who doesn't, who has this political belief, who doesn't. This applies across the board, y'all. Okay? And understand, positive action ultimately dictates positive experiences. Imagine that. Just imagine that. Even if you don't believe this right now, try to imagine how it would be or feel to respond positively in a negative environment. The negative environment can't affect you because you're going to find a way to make it a positive response. Some people might call that fairy tale or far-fetched. I'll say to you, that's a belief. And I would love you to share your ideas and comment and exchange that with me so that I can give you more of where I'm coming from. But it's a belief, y'all. You can respond positive. You may not always feel like it, and that's okay. And it's all right to respond negatively if you understand the karmatic, energetic response that's going to occur because of that. Karma don't mean something bad's about to happen to you. It just means you already naturally have a balance point that works best for you in this life. So karma's job is to, when you do a negative action, it's going to create a imbalance in your natural balance. Your natural balance is a place of harmony and peace and joy. So if you're not in that place, you're dealing with some karma energy that just needs to get balanced. And this is why I'm talking about this today. Emotional alchemy. We are all alchemists. We all have these abilities. These ain't just terms that mystical people or people you never see or people you think is super smart, they don't own these titles. We're all capable of applying these things in our life, even in the event of trauma. Trauma is one of the most powerful things that can catapult you into a wonderful life. As wild as that may sound to your ears initially, the reason trauma is one of the most powerful things that can catapult a person is because you have to perceive it from an energetic perspective. So energetically, everything is neutral. So even if it's a negative energy or positive energy, it could be neutral. So trauma is neutral. However, if it's a super negative energy, that means it has a lot of potential energy to spring you forward in a direction or suppress you down in a direction. But if you understand that, oh, this trauma ain't my identity. This is just energy that I can use to become rich, to find me a spouse, to build me a family, to build me a house. Trauma is just energy. And we have to sift in our minds. We have to change our perception. A little bit of trauma. So, in my experience, with a lot of people with, a good amount of money in their pockets, their story usually has a portion of trauma in it that caused a switch to flip, where they use that energy, that negative experience to create such positive result. And they learned many lessons in that. It's not that you want to experience a traumatic experience. It's that it don't matter when you truly understand how energy works. Because you're alchemists with your emotions, with your life. So, I think that'll be it for this one, y'all. Thank you so much. My name is Justin with Vibin' Works, and we're going to continue to build on these principles every day. So, as I tell you, anyone, if you find this video, whenever you find this video, because I'm claiming it, this is going to be a big channel, and there's going to be a lot of people that just want to receive this information because we're lining up energetically. So when you find this video, go back and watch each previous video because they're all connected to the greater picture. Okay? And I appreciate you for being here. Much love, much love, much love. Justin with Vibin' Works. Have a blessed day.